this is Charlene. We are going to solve, graph, and write a solution in interval notation for this OR inequality. Well, how do we know that it is an OR inequality? Well, it has the word OR in it. Some of them don't, but this one does, so there's no question. Okay, so we have two inequalities. We have this one or this one, and we are simply going to solve both of those using simple order of operations until we get to the end, and then we will graph them. So let's go ahead and solve the first one. Minus 6 on both sides. So this 6 minus 6 cancels. I'm left with minus 2a, and that is less than 8 minus 6, which is 2. At that point, I'm going to divide out the negative 2. Well, anytime we divide by a negative 2, we are going to flip. So that means that we are going to flip this sign right here, and we're going to flip the sign of that 2 right there. So we will end up having these two cancel out. I will have a. I'm going to flip my sign, and then I'm going to flip. This is going to be a positive, whatever it is. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So does that make sense? We are flipping the sign and flipping the sign twice. Let me get rid of that. I can't get it. There we go. Okay, so that one is actually finished. A is greater than 1. So now let's go ahead and solve the other inequality using simple order of operations. So I have plus 1. I'm going to do minus 1, minus 1. These two cancel out. Then I end up with A over 2 is less than or equal, no, just less than negative 2 minus 1. So negative 2 minus 1 is a minus 3. We start negative, we go more negative, we get even bigger negative. So how are we going to get rid of that 2 right there? Well, it's in the denominator, so I am going to, which is when you're in the denominator, you're dividing. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 in order to eliminate or cancel out that 2 on the left-hand side. Okay, so now I end up with A is less than negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6. Okay, looks like we're on track to now draw our number line. So here we go, number line, there it is. So I'm going to mark both of these solutions. A is less than negative 6. It is greater than a positive 1. So I'm going to place the negative 6 over here on the left-hand side. I'm going to place the positive 1 on the right-hand side because that would be where the positive numbers are. Okay, so I look at my inequalities. My inequalities say less than at the beginning. So, but there's no equal sign. There is no, it's not less than and equal to. So I do not have to do equal sign. That means it's going to be open circle. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do open circle on both of my solutions because it is not equal to that. Now I'm going to look at this one. A is greater than 1. A is big mouth greater than 1. So from the 1, it's going to be greater than the 1. And this one says A is less than negative 6. Little mouth means less than negative 6. So that means it's going to be less than the negative 6. It's going to go this direction. So that means that I'm going to graph it starting with my open circle because it's not actually equal to 1. And it's going to go this direction. And then from my negative 6, it's going to go less than negative 6, so it's going to go that direction. So let me just point out something right quick. When you have an OR inequality, you think about it as like this, or that. It's like this or that. So there's kind of a separation there when we have an OR inequality. Okay, so now we are going to go up here and focus on our interval notation, and we are going to have two separate notations. We will put the symbol U in between them, which indicates it's OR. The U represents OR. So I will end up with an interval right here and an interval right here. The first one will be reflected by this part of the number line. This one will reflect this part of the number line. So we need to go back to how do we create an interval for this graph? Well, we always look at it from left to right, left to right. So we're going to look at where does it start, and where does it go to? Okay, so it's starting from over here, wherever this arrow is pointing. Well, where is that arrow pointing? What is over there? It goes on forever and ever and ever, and it is in a negative direction. So what represents going on forever and ever and ever in a negative direction? Negative infinity. So negative infinity is where it starts, and where does it go to? It goes to the -6. So we're going to put negative infinity, and it goes to the -6. Can it be equal to the -6? No. So we put a soft close because it cannot be equal to the -6. Does it ever reach negative infinity? No, we can never reach negative infinity. So it's also what I call a soft close. A soft close is represented by parentheses. That means it cannot be equal to the negative infinity. It cannot be equal to the -6. Okay, now we're going to look at this other part. Again, we're going to look at it from left to right. So where does it start? Where does it start? Well, it starts at 1. And where does it go to? Well, it's going to go on forever and ever and ever. So what is forever again? Well, forever is infinity, but this is in the positive direction. So it is going to start at the number 1, and it is going to go to infinity. It can never reach infinity, and also because our inequality did not have an equal sign attached to it, it's a soft close because it cannot be equal to the 1 either. So let me go ahead and erase that. Okay, so that is actually our final answer for our interval notation. Right there is the interval notation for the solution set of our inequality. And let me go ahead and erase a little bit of this so you can see this a little more clearly. This is our solution graph right there. Right there. Okay. So interval notation, graph, and we are good to go. So hopefully that was helpful. Come back and see us soon. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, and see you later. Okay, bye.